Okay, so let's go through this spread here. So the Nine of Cups, traditionally, it is emotional fulfillment. Also in the reverse position, I do feel that there is going to be a little bit of a disappointment with the energies that you're dealing with, the energies that you're projecting, okay? So this is something that is innately within you. So there's a little bit of a downer energy for this week, and I do feel that it is linked to your home environment, mainly because the home card is also in the reverse position. So a lot of you might have had falling outs between family members, between significant people that you live with, or your home environment itself is kind of destabilized, and as a result, you're not really feeling your best, and you might appear a little bit grouchy. I know that Virgos, when things aren't going well with you in your home life, you tend to get a little cranky. So try to curb that if that's an energy that you're dealing with. Okay, so the spiritual advice here is consult a friend, consult somebody who's very sympathetic to you, and just let it all out so that it doesn't randomly rear its ugly head when when you're not aware or when you're like upset. All of this like emotional baggage just gets dumped on unsuspecting bystanders. Okay. So in terms of like your first house, this is the way others will view you, and there's a little bit of a disappointment associated with something that happened within your past. I feel it could potentially be waiting for a resolution. It could also be like not getting the exact resolution that you're looking for. So the rest of the cards look well. We do have the 10th house too. So the disappointment might be linked to the work situation, the career situation, or overall the family situation. So let's go through the cards and then I can incorporate more things as I see them. In terms of your fourth house, we have the Five of Cups in the reverse position. Now, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, it is like, I do feel in this situation, it's sort of like having a falling out with somebody that you regret, but it's in the reverse position, so it's not something that you regret very much. You're just kind of sad that people are still, not learning from their past mistakes. And I do feel a lot of you are dealing with potentially marriage partners or even people who you're living with, such as roommates, such as family members, for example. So there's a little bit of, been there, done that. They can't hurt me anymore, and I'm over it. So you're not going to let this, the way people behave, affect you for this week, okay? So it's actually a really nice energy. So for those of you who might have like been dependent on a family member to come through and put down a deposit on a new apartment, for example, they might have like reneged on their promises, or some like for those of you even with roommates, they might leave all their dirty dishes in the sink. The house situation might be a little bit like well more disorganized and just chaotic than you'd hope, which kind of it doesn't allow you to concentrate on your work, and it doesn't allow you to like have peace of mind in order to do your work. Okay, so that situation might potentially come in as well. In terms of your seventh house, we do have the Page of Cups here. And this is messages, like really sweet, sincere messages regarding love that's coming in for you. So, if the, so for example, what I'm getting here is for those of you who are dealing with a water sign in general, I do feel that there's going to be a breakthrough in communication, which is going to bring about like a new lease on love for you. Okay, so it looks very, very exciting. However, there's a sense of trepidation about how you want to proceed with this. So, for those of you who are dealing with like an air sign in your work environment who might have crossed the line and, shown interest in you on a on a non-professional level, so that you might be a little bit upset. So an air sign is an Aquarius, a Libra, or a Gemini. However, for those of you who are kind of like who has an air sign in a work environment and you're kind of like displaying this gesture, I do feel that you might not get a positive reception from their sign, mainly because he or she is in the reverse position, okay? And air signs are really notorious for putting on like a very icy face, And if they don't like something, the atmosphere turns very cold, and they will they're very good with like protecting their boundaries, so you will know whether or not they like you based on their reaction. You will know. It's not going to be like rocket science, okay? So just be careful about that. I do sense that in general, um, with an air sign reversed in the work environment, I do feel that somehow insights and the ability to filter out fact and fiction, and also the ability to get organized, or even like to speed up your mental processes, is not going to be such a great week in terms of work environment. Okay, you're going to feel like something is pretty much amiss and out of your control. So, or things might be disorderly in the work environment as well. And it might be your home life situation affecting your work life situation. So it's a little bit problematic. And I know with you Virgos, you're very, being an earth sign, you want to compartmentalize everything. Everything has a place. So you leave your home life at home, and when you come to work, you just focus on work. But there's a little bit of a funky energy in which things are all getting like messy and entangled, so it makes you really uncomfortable. At the same time, if there is an air sign on a strictly, I would say, like professional level in your work environment, I do feel in general that this person has their guard up, okay? And an air sign in the reverse position also shows very, very strong intuition. So for this week, there's a sense that, not being able to communicate effectively in the work front, so that's something you want to be careful of. At the same time, your emotional state might affect your professional life. So make sure that you are, well, maintain, boundaries with people that you work with, and also be very, very clear that, don't breach, well, don't mix business with pleasure is what I'm sensing here, and I'm sensing that very, very strongly, because there is a page energy, which is a very young, unassuming energy, but also very inexperienced, okay? So you want to like curtail inter-office romance as much as you can, because the other person is kind of like blocked emotionally. So you don't really know how they're going to react. So if you're certain about how they feel about you, but in general, inter-office romances rarely work out. So just please be careful about this energy, all right? So don't distress too much. I do hope that you still have a wonderful, weekend. Overall, the Page of Cups is bringing about new love, communication. So new breakthroughs in communication with somebody that you care a great deal about. New, potentially, it's a young energy, so new work partnerships as well. New work partners coming into the fore, or somebody who's expressing a lot of interest in you, and somebody that makes your heart, beat a little bit when you're around them. So it feels like puppy love to me, and it looks very favorable. So don't distress, just don't mix business with pleasure. Keep your house clean. Don't let your personal life interfere with your work environment, okay? Because you might regret it down the line. So um, keep those two things separate, all right? I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week as well. If you can, let me know how this plays out for you. I appreciate it, because this is a new spread, so I'm still in the experimental phases, okay? So I'll talk to you soon.